I got this on a trade. I actually traded my RX7, which you're like, well, that's a dumb trade. Well, it is a dumb trade. But I got cash on top. So that's why I did the trade, and I wanted to shoot the RX3. I'm going to shoot at the old trusty bear today just because it gives me a little bigger target. And I don't want to miss. Hey, by the way, if you want to know how to make that stand for your 3D target, or a stand for 3D target, check out my video. Anyway, let's shoot this RX3. Pretty simple module change here. We have 2 screws. There's a little peg that will have to fit in whatever slot you need, and you can look at the limb for the adjustments. And then you have to move the draw stop. You're gonna have to do this on the top and the bottom. And we got our 1/4 inch Allen screw to crank this down, because I want to max this baby out. Should be at 70 pounds, 30 inches. The IBO rating on this should be 342 feet a second. One thing I'd like to note about all Hoyts is the riser has this curve thing here. And when you're setting up a QAD rest, it's a pain in the butt. I just feel like it gets in the way, and I feel like over time it's gonna rub on this paint right here. Another thing a lot of bow companies are going to, it's not just Hoyt, it's a star bit for the mod screws, and it's an Allen wrench for the draw stops. Now I would note that there's a draw stop on the top and the bottom on this. That's a good option. All right, enough talking. I'm just gonna shoot this thing. The QAD, this is the first time setting it up too, so I'm hoping it doesn't fail on me. Hopefully I got it timed out right. I made a short video on how to set that up. If you dig through my videos, there's more extensive videos on how to set up a QAD. Let's give this thing a try. Now I'm usually like a 31, that's my preferred draw length. Everything drew smooth. I really like how it drew, to be honest with you. The peep is way off, so this is gonna be weird. I feel like it's ready to go. Ooh, yeah, she does creep a little bit. So you gotta definitely lay on it here. I do like the draw cycle on that, it's pretty smooth. Now it could be that my QAD was timed out poorly, but that sounded loud. Looks timed. I'm gonna try and just listen to the bow and see where this thing's coming from. It's the target that's loud. I'm gonna move that further back. All right, so the target was too close, so when I was shooting, I was hearing some reverberations in the target, and I'm like, what is going on here? I've shot Hoyt before, and they've never been that loud. Got this on a trade. I actually traded my RX7, which you're like, well, that's a dumb trade. Well, it is a dumb trade. But I got cash on top, so that's why I did the trade, and I wanted to shoot the RX3. All right, let's try this. I'm gonna really try and get the feel of the bow this time. So you can feel the power leave the bow. There's a little bit of a, we'll call it a hand shock. There's a little bit of a shock in the hand right when you shoot, but there's no vibrations that like reverberate through the bow. If there's any vibration at all, it's all hidden in the hand shock, and then it's gone. Felt like there's a lot of power in this. The sight's definitely not sighted in, because that was super high. So we'll do little adjustments, and then I'm gonna shoot it through the chronograph. All right, chronograph is set up. Let's give her a try. Don't know if you'll be able to see the reading on there. Hmm. 274 feet a second. But wait, I forgot to tell you, those arrows I'm shooting are 560 grain. So that's really not that bad. Before I take those shots for consistency, I really gotta sight this in a little better. And I want that backstop to help me so I don't lose my arrows. Now this bow still isn't adjusted to me as far as kisser button and stuff, so it's a little weird. but we're doing my best. Sensitive. What in the world? Talk about shooting high. Holy camulligans. So here we go, some consistency shots. I'm gonna be aiming at the center. Well, that's hard to do upside down. I'm gonna be aiming at the center, but ultimately I'm looking at my grouping. I'd say for a bow I'm not used to, with a peep sight that's not adjusted to me and a kisser button that's all weird, it's not a pretty, it's a pretty good grouping at 20 yards. So there you go, Hoyt RX3. What do I have to say about this bow? I feel like it's a solid bow. It's not chintzy. It's made well. I like the double draw stops. Draw cycle's really nice. It shoots fast, 274 feet a second with 560 grain arrows is pretty good. I think it's a little jumpy in the hand, but there's 0 stabilizers on this thing right now. I haven't done anything to it to add on. It's a little jumpy. To me, it feels a little closer to a speed bow, but maybe that's how they're getting the 342 feet a second. I am maxing it out. It might be a little more comfortable at a lower draw length. You can get some lower draw lengths out of this bow. There is 2 different modules. There's a number 2, number 3. So if you wanted to get to the lowest settings, you'd have to get the number 2 module. But yeah, I would say it's a pretty good shooter. Hoyt RX3. Bow Dad rating today is going to be a, really got to think about this, I think a 9.1 out of 10. Hoyt, you did well. This is Bow Dad. Go out and try a used bow. I'm out.